Did it again, okay. So, now that we're looking at it from both sides, do you want to have a couple volunteers come up and write some of their opinions that we've got? So we've got colonist notes, so why the colonists feel how they feel, and then we can write about the British, and then any fun facts that you think might have to do with why the perspectives are a little different. And just feel free to come up. We'll have maybe 4 or 5 people. So first come, first serve. Yeah, feel free. Gavin? First people. Dominic, if you want to as well. And we can write a couple things. So this one right here, we'll talk about Paul Revere and his point of view. And this right here was Captain Preston's, and that's the one we read earlier. So we just want to write a couple facts. Wow. Hold on. Yeah, you're okay. We can just draw a little arrow if you want to make it oh, okay.
Okay.
And Dominic, are you done with
I feel bad for you.
What's
The
the
way
finish?
they put an arrow, but the way right now it works.
Adeline, you can finish up and I'm gonna keep going. And then we can get to yours. So, Dominic, do you want to start telling us a little bit about why you wrote what you wrote for your fun fact?
Because if you notice really closely, Paul Revere is mentioned into everything in the American Revolution. He's mentioned in the beginning of the Intolerable Acts, Boston Massacre, Tea Party,
Okay.
Battle of Concord and Lexington, Midnight Riot, and
So, is he kind of like a big supporter of the colonist movement then?
so that's why I wrote.
That's exactly why
How
I
does
wrote
he
that.
get into everything?
What happens when you put yourself into a lot of situations?
You die.
Now, Adeline, do you want to tell us a little
You
bit about what you're
end up
writing?
being a famous poet.
All right, voices down, please. Let's make sure we can listen and hear Adeline. You want to tell us what you wrote?
Basically, it's like this story. Like the colonists were all settled down, so they were all talking, and then somebody just said fire.
Yeah.
And they all started shooting.
Okay.
So then the British got their patented fire. So then they started shooting. This is what we did. They started
Yeah.
war,
So,
and
yep.
and then Paul Revere made it look like the
It was-
British just fired right away.
Okay. So, Adeline brings up a good point on how the perspective of the British kind of affected what happened. Because if you hear somebody fire and you're a soldier in an army, what are you going to do?
Fire.
Fire, yeah, that's what you've been trained to do. you've spent a ton of time doing that, and now you've got to finally put all that hard work to use in a situation like this, which is kind of sad. But if we look at the colonists too, we've got all these colonists, and they're mobbed up, and there's some saying that they threw snowballs, sticks, and someone got hit with a club. So if there's a soldier with weapons, you get hit with a club, it's, you know, an event like this to happen isn't a big surprise. But it all comes back to their perspectives. And Mackenzie, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're writing?
It's basically kind of like Alan's, the rich thought that their captain said fire, so they started the fire, and then then the captain was like, why did you fire?
Yeah. So there was miscommunication there too. Are we almost finished up, Mackenzie? Awesome. So when we think about the perspectives historically too, but connecting it back to your research again as well, make sure that when you're reading articles that you make sure that everything is from a perspective that's not as biased and leaning towards one side or the other. Yes, Dominic?
I just thought of something. Maybe a lot of the colonists said fire. Maybe they all wanted this to happen.
Yeah, maybe it was a sort of propaganda moment to make their cause look a little more friendly.
Yeah. I mean, I just realized if the captain didn't say it and none of the soldiers did, maybe the colonists.
Maybe they kind of set it up. It's a pretty good guess, and I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, and I'm not going to say you're right, but that's a pretty good thought you've got there, Dominic. Yeah? Kind of egging for a war?
Probably somebody that wanted to.
Alright, so I'm going to move to the next slide, and we're going to get another article to read.
I think you have to recalibrate.
You're gonna have to recalibrate it.
Recalibrate it? You got it.
That hero.
This one?
The one that looks like a target.
No, it kind of, it's at the bottom. It's
Here, it's the bottom one.
No, it's Avery, it's the other one. It's all. No, it's this one. That one.
We got 3 mini teachers up here now.
Three teachers. Yeah.
Is it frozen?
Actually, there's 4. Not working. 7.
We got 4
Alright,
little
thank you.
girls.
So, if everybody wants to get back to their seats, I can read this excerpt. Feel free to follow along with me. It's pretty small print, but it's pretty important. So, from the beginning, this is about the Boston riot or the Boston massacre. So from the beginning, the British were met with hostility from many Boston's residents. Soldiers were insulted or beaten on the streets. These actions angered the soldiers who only wanted to be let alone and do their job. Some soldiers retaliated by harassing the colonists. And then on the night of March 5th, 1770, things came to a head. In front of the customs house, a crowd of people were yelling and throwing rocks, sticks, and icy snowballs at several soldiers. Someone yelled fire, which the soldiers took as an order, firing into the crowd, which eventually killed 5 Boston residents and had 6 others wounded. Could we add anything else to our board that we've got? Do we think we got any ideas from this other event that happened that's eerily similar to the same event we just learned about? Do those perspectives kind of matter again when we're thinking about that? Gavin?
It's basically soldiers are kind of edgy on anything really, because
Yeah.
someone could say, because someone that's watching could just yell, why don't you fire, and then they could hear it and then they would
Yeah.
fire. They're just kind of edgy on what who
Yeah.
says what.
So they're training. Think about being a soldier and knowing that every day, you might not be able to go home and see your family because you're kind of in a war.
They didn't
and
really
fighting.
train at all. They really
Yeah.
just had to be a certain age and then they just be shipped.
They
on
went
ships
there and they got
did
shipped and had to start doing their job. So when you hear something like that happen, like you hear the order to fire, when you've been trained and you've had this experience and know that it's life or death every day, what are you going to do in that situation? Fire! Exactly. So we want to move to the next slide. Do that over here now. Technology's not being my friend. I want to know what you all really think. So if you gathered any notes in your reader's journal, or if you just want to use what we've got already on the board, I'll erase this actually and we can go over it again. I want you all to write a 3 to 4 sentence summary on the Boston Massacre. And I want you to tell me what you think really happened and whose perspective you believe a little more and why. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to have Jathan, Elle, Eduardo, and Mackenzie come up to the round table and we're going to do our guided reading. So, does everybody understand what I'm asking of you? And we need a 3 to 4 sentence summary. I want to know the different perspectives that you've seen and that we've talked about, as well as who you think you're going to side with, like what we've got up there. Yes, Gavin.
Where should we write this? Right here?
So if you can get a scratch piece of paper. Scratch piece of paper and a pencil.
in a reading
Yeah,
notebook.
or in your reader's journal, whatever you've got. As long as you've got a little room, it's not too long of an assignment. And I'll give you guys about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to do this, and I'm going to work on the guided reading with my group. So, guided reading group, if you all want to bring a piece of paper and some pencil, so Mackenzie, if you want to do that, we can get that. Yes. And if you'd like as well, you can change your side of who you side with today as well. But while I'm working with the reading group, everybody, what are the expectations with Mr. Rhodes?
You go. And
No, you
can't
don't.
interrupt him.
Do not interrupt and be on your best behavior.
Like alien or you're on fire
Unless you're dead, dying, bleeding, or injured.
Or
Or on fire. When Captain America comes, it's golden.
That's gonna be very rare.
Who are we missing? One of them.
I'm not really too happy.
We can stop it now and